Mangwanani Mwalelepo Vukenjani, Klekwas Vanava Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, the news and current affairs show, bringing you everything you need to know happening on the African continent and beyond. You are joined by Ashwin Berry on Friday, the 26th of July. These are some of the top stories we'll be looking at, alongside talking to Mike Sichula, who will bring us the news stories from Zambia. UN report says around 733 million people globally faced hunger in 2023. Pilot-only survivor in the fatal Nepal plane crash, and a twice-yearly injection offers 100% protection against HIV. This in a trial of young women. OneUp2.com, DSTV 285, GoTV 25, and Network Media Hub on YouTube is precisely where you can find us. Top stories shortly.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Around 733 million people faced hunger in 2023, according to the latest State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World report published this week by 5 United Nations specialized agencies. Hunger affected 1 out of every 11 people in the world and 1 out of 5 in Africa, with the number rising on their continent. The report highlights that access to adequate food remains elusive for billions, with around 2.33 billion people globally faced moderate or severe food insecurity in 2023. It had this number that has not changed significantly since the sharp upturn in 2020 amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, David Laborde, the Food and Agriculture Organization's Director of Agri-Food Economics, says solving the problem is a political choice and also depends on how much money we are ready to put on the table. At least 18 people were killed after a plane crashed and caught fire as it was taking off from Nepal's capital of Kathmandu on Wednesday. The pilot, who is currently receiving treatment in hospital, is the only survivor of the fatal accident. Some 19 people were on the Saurya Airlines test flight, including technical staff members of the airline and 2 crew members. The plane was headed to Pokhara, a popular tourism destination. Videos posted online showed the plane being enveloped in fire and smoke. Fire engines and ambulances were rushed to the spot after the incident. The incident happened around 11:15 local time, a few minutes after the plane took off from the Tribhuvan International Airport, according to a statement by the Nepal Civil Aviation Authority Search and Rescue Coordination Center. Now, twice-yearly shots used to treat AIDS were 100% effective in preventing new infections in women. The drug company says it is waiting for results of testing in men before seeking permission to use it to protect against infection. The results in women were published on Wednesday, July the 24th, in the New England Journal of Medicine. The study was conducted on about 5,000 young women and girls in South Africa and Uganda. The prospect of a twice-a-year shot is quite revolutionary news for our patients, said Thandeka Nkosi, who helped run the Gilead research at the Desmond Tutu Health Foundation in Masiphumelele, South Africa. With the twice-yearly injectable, we know that participants would be quite excited about, just purely because the injectable versus the pill, she says. We've seen how adherence is not always the greatest when it comes to the pill, purely because of different reasons: time, the ability to go and pet and fetch those pills from the clinics. And so with the injectable and twice yearly, this gives a participant more choice. Now, Instagram owner Meta says it has removed thousands of accounts in Nigeria that were trying to target people in sextortion schemes. Such scammers typically pose as young women online to trick people into sending them sexually explicit material before blackmailing them. Victims of sextortion crimes have taken their own lives due to the stress, stigma, and shame felt after being scammed. Meta said in a blog post on Wednesday it had removed about 63,000 accounts that tried to engage with the scams. Financial sextortion is a horrific crime that can have devastating consequences, it said. The company said it also took down 5,700 Facebook groups in which scammers were offering tips on how to scam people. Now, last week, one of the largest IT outages in history disrupted businesses and governments around the world. The incident, which affected 8.5 million Microsoft Windows devices, led to widespread disruptions of airlines, banks, broadcasters, healthcare providers, retail payment terminals, and cash machines globally. Now, Yolanda now talks to Asad Abbas of Green Enterprise Solutions about the IT outage that took place last week and the impact it had on Namibia.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined with Asad here from Green Enterprise Solutions. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Can you quickly tell us what happened on Friday with regards to the global outage within the IT systems?
So on Friday, a global IT outage was experienced due to a faulty update in a software called Falcon Sensor, which is used by Microsoft Azure and Office 365 services to protect their platforms and services. This basically caused at least 8.5 million devices worldwide to experience disruptions.
And these disruptions were also experienced in Namibia?
Absolutely. So these 8.5 million devices include the ones in Namibia, including individuals as well as organizational services such as Microsoft SharePoint Online, OneDrive, Exchange Online, etc.
Who is CrowdStrike?
CrowdStrike is a cybersecurity solution provider. It's a well-known cybersecurity solution provider worldwide, and they protect, their flagship software is Falcon, which protects Microsoft Azure and Office 365 services and their endpoints and devices.
Can this be classified as a cyber attack?
No, absolutely not. This was definitely a software update gone wrong, probably due to either lack of testing or human error, etc.
Okay. How does something like this happen in today's day and age?
It's interesting, isn't it? With all the advanced technology and enhanced testing protocols we have, there are certain factors which can play a role, but Microsoft has not released an official statement as to why did that happen. But as per my experience, the number one factor is when you require a rapid update on the software due to maybe some severe vulnerability identified as a critical risk. They need to release an update very quickly, which basically reduces the testing time and then hence the result.
Okay. Are there no fail-safes?
Yeah, there are fail-safes. Microsoft usually uses a staged rollout to their updates. They roll out the updates to a certain group of people or companies first, test them for a while, and then release globally. But as I said, if it's a critical requirement with a rapid update requirement, they might have released it globally very quickly to make sure that maybe a security vulnerability does not exist and doesn't give a free hand to any hacking organizations.
Okay. What is the impact of this failure?
So the impact is, number one, immediate. Immediate is business disruptions, organizational, operational delays for their customers. We are still basically trying to bring our clients back to normal, long night hours. But in the long term, basically, if these things happen numerous times, there will be an impact on the customer trust, number one. Number two, regulatory scrutiny is going to come in, and then there will be a re-evaluation on release strategies and testing strategies as well. Collaboration between vendors like Microsoft and CrowdStrike. Okay. They will have to airtight these things.
Can we ensure that this doesn't happen again?
Yeah, we cannot say that this will not happen again. It's very difficult, but there are strategies in place, like enhanced testing protocols, stage rollouts, backups, disaster recovery, business continuity, rollback points. A lot of things which we can put in place to basically make sure that, number one, this doesn't happen again, or if this doesn't even happen again, we can quickly bring the businesses back online.
And then finally, how can Namibian organizations prepare for something like this, of this magnitude?
It's very simple. Turn off auto updates. Use the monthly or biannual update channels. So you don't put your device to update immediately when an update arrives. Let it go through all the channels. Maybe have a scheduled update strategy, so monthly or a biannual. And then again, put a testing environment in place, apply updates to the testing environment. If everything goes well, then you apply into production.
Asad, thank you so much for explaining it to our fellow Namibians, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, those have been our top stories on Africa Good Morning. After the break, I talked to Mike Sichula as he brings us the news stories from Zambia, including a story about a young man who faked his own abduction after losing a bet in order to get his parents to pay. Stay with us.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Mr. Mike Sichula, Muribwanji.
Muribwanji, Africa, good morning to our dear viewers.
Africa, good morning indeed. It seems we have a bit of a lag, Mr. Sichula. So once you get into your stories, just go through them. Of course, in the story, your second story will play the video right after. But once you get into your stories, go straight from the first into the second. So I'm just going to highlight the stories you'll be giving us today. Then you can take it away, rather. A medical student has been arrested for staging a fake abduction. The Millennial Challenge Corporation has given Zambia a compact of $458 million US. On a sad note, some unknown people have murdered the Director General of Zambia's Independent Broadcasting Authority. And in sports, we'll talk about the Copper Queens. Please take it away.
Thank you very much once again. So details about on the first story of a student that faked his own abduction is that Zakaria, that's him in the picture, Halinga, age 20, was abducted by unknown people. The incident occurred between Saturday. Reported that his son gone missing after repeated calls on phones went unanswered. So the father then received a call demanding 80,000 kwacha for the release of his son. That went to harm Zakaria. The money was not paid, and they said him abducted. Thereafter, police launched investigations, and investigations which later revealed that actually Zakaria had faked his only abduction after he lost a bet online amount 80,000 kwacha, which is over $3,000. So in the plan for him to have the money back, that's why he engaged who are below 20. If you fake an abduction, you'll be beating me, and you test and you then when I sends money, I'm going to give you a cut. This money that I've wasted, which was for school fee, I can be able to recover. But unfortunately, police down, and they have actually arrested him and also the other two that agreed to his plan to fake an abduction. Then in the second story, the compact is the proposed compact. Yes, that's the is that is target the agriculture and agro sectors which have been identified as the most promising areas to unlock inclusive economic growth. So the new compact for 77 in grant funding MPC in Zambia. We can now listen to the video as Ambassador to the EU spoke about the compact itself.
Played by both parties, the US team, the Zambia team. They arrived and began to work from the airport. It showed the level of seriousness that we attached to this particular project. As we're talking now, there is an AGOA meeting which I'm attending for the renewal of AGOA, and as they are discussing there, we're seeing how Zambia can increase its exports once the AGOA is renewed. We're hoping it will be renewed next year. And one area of focus is contribution agriculture. This is where we have a comparative advantage, but we don't have the kind of capacity we want to have. And we're hoping that through this Millennium Challenge project, we shall be able to develop capacity across the country to participate in this particular market. So I want to thank you all for having done this in 3 days. It's a lot of work, a lot of effort, but above all, it's about trust. I think over the years and over a period of time, the two parties are beginning to trust each other, and we're hoping for speedy implementation of whatever shall be agreed. Thank you so much.
Then sadly, newly appointed independent Director General Gutile Muleya was found dead a day ago. According to the Zambia police, a witness contacted Udan police station on 24th this month and reported that during the night of 23rd, around 20 hours, he observed a vehicle with its open doors, but he did not know what was happening. There he had two guns. The following day, as I was walking to work, he discovered the body of the deceased Muleya on the ground. The body was found with 2 gun bullet wounds on the back, and a close examination revealed a deep wound on the forehead. Two bullet cartridges were discovered at the scene. Something that is a sad story. And there, in the Minister of Information, Cornelius Mwetwa, visiting the deceased funeral home to understand, to just console the family there on the disastrous death of Mr. Muleya. The Copper Queens were in action against the United States of America in their Group B Olympics opener, and the result, Zambia lost to the United America by 3-0. It was not a very bad performance from the Copper Queens, considering that in the first half allowed those 3 goals, and one of their star defenders, Pauline Zuru, was for a foul that she committed on an American striker. Then the Copper Queens came back in the second, playing one player brilliant performance, such that the score stood at 3-0 at the end of 90 minutes. So Zambia now will move against Australia on Sunday. But one of the sad reports that are coming from the Olympics is that Coach Bruce Mwape is not being allowed to the Copper Queens in the hotel, even to the stadium. Is going by a couple of sexual allegations that FIFA and have been investigating. But over these stories have been coming against him, no player has come out to testify to say, yes, Bruce Mwape has abused me. And so it's something that is not for the team, it demotivating. Thank you very much, Africa. Good morning to our dear viewers.
All right, you're still with Africa. Good morning. I will actually broadcast alongside Mike Sichula in Zambia sometime next week. We'll make sure we let you know about that. But for now, let's have a look at the weather predictions. Now, in economic news stories, fast fashion giant Shein, known for its $5 tops and $10 dresses, will open a pop-up store in Johannesburg, South Africa in August as the online retailer aims to expand its brand recognition in the country. Shein, founded in China, and its rival Temu have aggressively expanded worldwide as online shopping has surged after the COVID pandemic. They have been accused of exploiting tax loopholes by exporting China-made products in small quantities to avoid higher duties. Bringing the Shein experience directly to the end consumer is a key part of their strategy, the company said on Wednesday in an emailed response. Given that Shein is a digital-first company, their hugely successful pop-ups are an opportunity for consumers to touch and feel our products, as well as to interact and engage directly with Shein's local brand ambassadors. Now, Managing Director of Environ Consultants Trading, Colin Namane, gives his feedback at a news conference of Headspring Investments in Windhoek, Namibia, regarding in situ leaching mining of uranium.
Emphasis certainly on science, right? So whether the other mines, because I mean, some of them have been operating at least prior to the enactment of the current environmental legislation. Probably not sure whether they have done the due diligence right from the beginning. So I think what stands out here and what could be, a benefit in a more responsible approach is that, there's a proposition to start with a pilot, right? And that informs all those all those stakeholders, all those unknowns, and that enables you really to start from a space where you know what you're dealing with, where you have all the facts, where you have all the data. And I think that's what should be commendable about this approach, that let's the company be afforded a small space to conduct the pilot that informs all these things, including the aspects of water quality also.
Thank you for staying with Africa Good Morning throughout the broadcast. I'll be off for about 2 weeks, but I will correspond from Zambia and Zimbabwe respectively. Glenora Shipura will be in studio. Do take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful weekend. From me, Ashwin Berry, and the Africa Good Morning team. Soleil Jakanaka.